I should start by thanking the Courtyard by Marriott for having us up here. Pretty cool venue, and I've been this high up in the Courtyard. I should also thank the three coaches, Frank McCaffrey, Lisa Bluter, Kirk Ferris, for being here. Really appreciate their support. Obviously, lots of players in the back. Really appreciate you guys and your support in this and what we're trying to do. I should also give a special thanks to the United Way of Johnson County and Washington County for being here. They're going to play a pivotal role in what we're trying to accomplish. I guess I should also say that my actuarial press conferences don't seem to be this well attended. It's good to have everybody here. Unless you want to hear about mortality tables and how COVID impacts my mortality tables, I think we'll probably just stick to name, image, and likeness today. That is the topic. That is what Swarm is about. Name, image, and likeness has, for some people, a real negative connotation. I want to address that. You hear things like pay to play. That's what NIL is. It's all pay to play. Did you see this quarterback that got $7 million just to go to this university? Isn't a free education enough? We've all heard that. Many of you know I'm not a native Iowan. I grew up in the suburbs of Kansas City, came to Iowa, 4-year student athlete, actually 5. 5 years to complete 4, you know how it goes. I now live in Fort Myers, Florida. There's a university there in Fort Myers called Florida Gulf Coast University. You may have heard of it. Smaller university, I think they're in the Atlantic Sun Conference. In 2013, FGCU shocked the world, so to speak, as a 15 seed and made it to the Sweet 16. That became a pretty big deal around Fort Myers, and there was a lot of notoriety that came to the school as a result. Applications for admission after that year went up 30% in 2014. Out-of-state applications to FGCU went up 88%. The university clearly benefited from the performance of their basketball program. These kids were high flyers. They were dunkers. They actually nicknamed themselves Dunk City. Kind of reminded me of the Phi Slamma Jamma days back in the 80s. Some of you kids have no idea what I'm talking about. But there was a group of Houston Cougars that lived by that moniker. The athletics department had 35% increase in donations after that year. The head coach left FGCU to go to USC and sign a deal making 10 times more than what he was making at FGCU. Everybody benefited from this great NCAA tournament run. The players, they got memories and a free education. Is that enough? My opinion is no. It's not enough. Whether you agree with me or not, that's up to you. But I will tell you, I think NIL is here to stay. On June 21st, 2021, the Supreme Court ruled 9-0, effectively paving the way for this. Now, it wouldn't be unprecedented for the Supreme Court to change their mind on something, but I think 9-0 speaks volumes. These kids have earned the right to make money on their name, image, and likeness. Now, many in the public view this as a negative. From my perspective and why I'm here, I view this as an incredible opportunity. It's an opportunity for these student athletes not just to profit on their name, image, and likeness, but they're going to get personal fulfillment in working for charitable organizations. I know from my own journey that you get a lot more out of helping out charities than you think you're going to going in. These kids are going to learn how to market themselves. That's an education I didn't get while I was in school. Golfers tend to not be quite as popular, maybe as basketball players or football players, but the opportunity to learn to develop a personal brand and to market yourselves, these student athletes are now going to get that opportunity and to learn. Personal finances, think about that opportunity. These kids are going to learn how to pay their taxes. They're going to learn how to basically to manage their money. When I was in school, I had no money, like zero. There wasn't much to manage. These kids, hopefully, through the work that they do, will maybe have some money to take somebody out on a date if they want to. But learning how to manage their personal finances is important. They're going to become a bigger part of the community, bigger, more so than I think student athletes back when I was in school. I think this is a great opportunity for the Iowa community. We've got 2 employees of Swarm. Scott Brickman, who's our COO, standing in the back, and Jane Oswald, who she's got a really fancy name. I wanted to say events coordinator, but it's something like VP in charge of events and something. Anyway, Jane's job is to really connect the student athletes with the community. She's going to be helping these student athletes work inside the community to further their mission and their causes. That's really her entire, or at least a good part of her role. My goal is to raise as much money for charity as we pay these kids for their help. I think it's a big opportunity for local businesses as well. No professional sports teams in the state of Iowa, or at least maybe there are, that I just don't know about them, living in Florida. But this is the Hawkeye State, and these kids are the most popular athletes in the state of Iowa. I think endorsing the products of these local businesses, or state or national businesses, will provide these businesses with a return on their investment. Now, these local businesses have that opportunity and access to these student athletes to help them. Swarm is going to be spending quite a bit of its resources and time trying to connect these businesses with our student athletes and look for the proverbial win-win. I should also say that this is an incredible opportunity for Iowa fans. This is an opportunity Iowa fans have never had before. Iowa fans are going to get more access to the student athletes, more access to Hawkeye experiences. As an Iowa fan, this is really exciting. We've already planned a Duke experience in Madison Square Garden where Iowa fans can join us and get see up close and personal what happens behind the scenes with Iowa basketball, and to experience us hopefully beating the Duke Blue Devils in Madison Square Garden would be a trip of a lifetime. I should also say this is a pretty cool opportunity for me. Not financially, I'm not taking salary. I've contributed quite a bit of money to this, but I'm at the point in my career where I like to watch others become successful, and that's what fills my cup at this point. And watching Scott and Jane grow in their professional careers, watching these student athletes grow, not only as players but as people, I'm incredibly excited about this opportunity, this chance. I should talk a little bit about Swarm, getting into some of the details. I'm an actuary, we love details. Swarm is really a sort of the name that encompasses really 2 separate organizations. It's one organization but 2 separate companies, 2 separate entities. The Swarm Collective is designed purely for women's basketball, men's basketball, and football. And its objective is to connect our student athletes with local charities, nonprofits, and to do charitable work. The donations to the Swarm Collective are intended to be tax deductible. We're still waiting on the IRS for that approval. They're a little behind, and they're reviewing applications for this, but we expect that to be coming soon. We have a subscription model for Iowa fans to participate, and that's located at our website at iowaswarm.com. So feel free to check that out. We've spent quite a bit of time putting that website together. And then there's also the Swarm Inc., which is a separate nonprofit, but it is hooking up local national businesses with our student athletes. Any individual donations to that entity will clearly not be tax deductible, but businesses, of course, can deduct their marketing and advertising expenses. That all encompasses Swarm. The platform is one to try to make it such that individuals can receive some tax advantages for helping us out. We're going to be helping out local charities, nonprofits, and hopefully we'll be able to raise money for businesses that utilize our student athletes in their advertising exploits. In closing, I'll just say, I'm a Hawkeye. I'm all in. You guys, I think there's a phrase other than just fight for Iowa. I think it's win, do it the right way, graduate. Does that sound like something you've heard before? I might have it backwards, but it seems as if it's kind of that. I'm here to do things the right way. That's the objective. I've got experience building things. I've built an actuarial firm into a national brand. I love to grow businesses. This is a grassroots startup. But what is the right way? From my perspective, running this organization in a lean manner with few expenses to make sure that our donors maximize their donations and from the standpoint of the bang for the buck that they contribute. I want to open doors for these kids in the back of the room and others that aren't even here today. I want to teach them about personal finance. I want to make them a bigger part of our community. We want to help the local charities and nonprofits achieve their missions. We want to provide avenues for local businesses to make more money. And finally, I'll say, I want to empower these coaches to help stay competitive and win championships. That's why they're here, and that's why a lot of these student athletes came to Iowa, to win championships and get a great education. I'll stop there and open it up for questions.